everybody. This is Lisa.
And I'm Cryss.
I'm Dola.
Mom's here with us today. So exciting. Good times, good times. So this is the AKS Knit and Crochet Podcast, episode number 29. I love a good odd number. So, what are we talking about today, ladies? We have lots of things. And this week when we're filming this, the New Jersey Wool Walk is in full swing. So, there's been wool walking happening. This is like the first big event we've taken part in a minute. So, shall we start with the wool walk?
Let me start with Mom's sweater.
Okay, we can do that.
Lisa dragged Mommy here to talk about her sweater.
It
Mommy
was not
doesn't
a
like to
drag.
be on camera, but
It
we're
was
going to get her through it, and it's
a
going to be great.
request.
It's going to be great.
It was a
Yeah,
request,
Lisa
but-
doesn't understand the definition of a request.
Anyway, we can start with Mom's sweater. That's not a problem. So, Mom, tell them about your sweater. What's it called first thing?
It's called the Lao sweater.
Yes, I'm going to put the name up on the screen. Now, I could be pronouncing this wrong. It is by Linda Suchka.
I would guess Skuya.
Skuya.
That's
That
what I
sounds
thought
right.
too. Yeah.
Is she Finnish or is she
I don't know.
Scandinavian? She's a Scandinavian
Mhm.
designer. She does some really, really
Right.
nice things.
It is a gorgeous crochet sweater.
Yeah, I fell in love with it, and but mostly with the pattern at the bottom.
Yes, I'm going to put up a
And-
picture so you can tell people all about that. Let me take down the banner because it's blocking some of that. So that is the front of the cardigan. Now, you used Angora lace, right?
Yes.
So Angora lace is a merino. Is it merino or wool?
I think it's merino.
Yeah, it's a
and
merino
Angora.
and Angora and nylon sock yarn. So it's a fingering weight sweater.
Yes, it
What
is.
needle size did you end up going with?
Wow. This was I think I used a J. No, I used a 4.
Okay.
I used a 4.
A 4
No.
millimeter?
No.
No, you went smaller.
I was supposed to use a 4 millimeter.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I used a 2.75 and a 3. I'm supposed to use 2.75 for
the edging.
the edging, but I kind of reversed it.
So she used a 2.75 for the body and a 3 millimeter for the edging.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
It's not
that
just me then.
made me end up with a really frilly edging, but I was able to fix it.
How'd you fix it?
So what I did was to run just pick up the stitches all the way around the edge
Mhm.
and run a what's that first
A
stitch?
slip stitch?
A slip stitch on the bottom edge. And then I ran a slip stitch at the top where it joins to the sweater. And then by the time we blocked it, everything was smooth.
Now, I think we blocked it in pieces, right?
Yes.
We blocked it in pieces and then we sewed
Because
it together.
it's crocheted all in one piece for the
Mhm.
body. Then you separate for the top and the sleeves. So
And you ended up, did you use 2 or 3 colors?
2.
Oh, okay.
I used 2 colors. I was going to use 3 colors, but I ended up using 2 colors. And what I did was just to where they blended,
Mhm.
I kind of used both.
You alternated. rows.
Yeah, and I didn't alternate rows. I alternated stitches.
Within the same row.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then I moved on to the next color.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you can kind of see the section where you alternated the stitches because the top part is a multi. That's why
Yeah.
you're getting that.
So I wanted to
striping.
go in a little softly to the top.
And I just love. We were talking about earlier today. What do we call what's going on the bottom? Is it like a cable almost?
Almost
Yeah,
like a
did you do
cable.
post stitches?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
It's
would
post-
call it
definitely
a
a
cable
cable.
pattern.
But it's a leaf-shaped cable,
Yeah.
and I just think it's so special. It is such a beautiful pattern.
Yeah, I enjoy making it, except that it's like you have to pay strict attention.
Yeah,
And I'm usually, watching TV or something.
like we
But
all are.
Watching TV and on her iPad
If
and trying to crochet.
you end up with an extra stitch or one stitch less, you felt like, oh, I can make it up in the next row. No, you can't.
Because each row sets up the next row.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
you
a
know what I
stacking.
noticed is that you might not see it so much in the next row, but by the time you get to that following row,
Mhm.
it's telling.
You see how everything on the bottom is lining up in those beautiful straight lines? If you fudge it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They're gonna
it
shift.
wasn't hard. Like when I looked at the pattern, I was like, oh, this might be hard. It wasn't hard in the sense that you couldn't follow the pattern because the
Mhm.
pattern was really very clear.
Right.
But it's just the attention that you really had to focus on what you were doing.
Mhm.
So, but now, once you got past the cable section on the bottom, was it as focused crocheting as it
No,
started
it
out?
was then, pretty much going
What
back
is the
and
top?
forth.
Is it double crochet or singles?
It's all half double.
Oh, so half.
No, I'm sorry, it's all doubles. It's all doubles.
But I particularly love the ribbing. I like that it kind of changes the direction of the knitting of the crochet a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, we did have some issues with the band flipping back, away, the wrong way. So what we ended up doing was blocking the sweater again with the iron though. So put a pressing cloth on top and had the iron on the wool setting and just skim the iron over it without letting the full weight rest. Otherwise, you're gonna mash out.
Yeah,
all
I
the
didn't want to
texture.
mash up the texture of the ribbing and all.
But otherwise, that's really all it needed. Just that little quick iron run over it, and I absolutely love how it came out. The fit, I think, is really
I do
great.
too. Even though I changed the hook size in
Yeah,
reverse,
you know what?
but because it was just 2.75 and 3,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
close enough.
it didn't make a big
Sometimes
difference.
close enough is good enough.
it really is. It really is.
Go
Sometimes close
figure.
enough is just what you need. But let me remind you guys of the name again. It is the Lao Cardigan. The pattern is available on Ravelry. Do check it out. I think if you now, would you recommend this for someone with very limited garment making experience?
It's
The stitches are simple
The
enough.
stitches are
and
simple
if
enough.
the instructions are clear, I think.
I think you could do it because, like I said, it's just going straight across.
Mhm.
So the stitches are simple, like Crystal said, and what it demands is attention. So I
Yeah.
would recommend it for
If
somebody
you're detail
who
oriented.
who
Mhm.
really want to sit and focus on something.
Yeah.
It's not a zippy thing.
Yeah.
No,
No.
it's not zippy and
And-
it's not like television. Once you get past the bottom, it's
Yeah.
easier, but the bottom you really need to be fully focused on what you're doing.
Yeah. And you might have to experiment with the hook size because mom could not get gauge with the hook that the designer recommended. So maybe she's just an extra tight crocheter.
Yeah, you
So
always have to,
you will have
figure
to-
out what works best
Yeah,
for you.
you will have
So you
definitely
definitely want to
swatch.
do a swatch, yes.
Definitely swatch. I'm sorry, but definitely swatch.
But you use a 2.75 millimeter hook and you still have excellent drape. You don't have to use a big giant hook to get crocheted drape.
Yeah, and notice that when you look at it, there's no holes or spaces between the stitches too, because you have
Yeah,
the
I was
appropriate
conscious
size
of
hook.
that too because with the leaf pattern, I wanted it to just be, smooth and close.
Mhm. So crocheters, check that out. It's a gorgeous piece. And how many balls of that yarn did you end up using?
I think I used 9 balls, but just a little bit off the last
one,
two.
yeah.
The last two, because even
In
with
each color.
in each
That's
color.
right. Oh wow. And I think that one comes in 463 yard
Yes, it's like a lot.
balls. I love it.
I probably could make socks out of what's left with both balls.
Oh, matching
Oh,
socks.
that would be so cute. Oh, you have to. You absolutely have to.
You do the leaf pattern on the top of the sock and then do the
No.
bottom.
No,
like
she's
that.
not doing the leaf pattern. You know what, though? You could stripe it to sort of call back the situation. Because I was thinking, oh, wouldn't that be fun to put the leaf pattern on the bottom part of the sleeve? And Mom was like,
No.
no.
Sometimes you need a shoemaker's elf. You just can't find one.
No, you can't.
Just leave something out, and in the morning it's done.
They don't make
done,
L's
yes.
like that anymore. Okay?
They got unionized.
They sure did.
I'll blame them.
So, do you want to go next, Cryss?
I actually haven't crocheted all week, and it just kind of happened by accident. But then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to walk this week, and I'm not going to crochet because I'm driving a lot to go to all these different stores, and when I come home, I don't feel like doing a whole lot. So the driving is like one of my least favorite activities ever. So I'm just going to give myself the week off. My 2-piece outfit is just about finished. I'm just doing a bottom edging on the skirt. It's going to be something like crazy simple. And I was going to go back to my silk dress.
Uh-oh.
But we'll walk.
Yeah.
We'll walk happened. I have a We'll Walk project planned. So I will probably work on my We'll Walk project before silk dress.
No.
I know.
Yeah, I asked
The
her today
Wool
if it was
project
going to
is
be a
pushing
line
back
jumper. Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So we're talking about my We'll Walk project. So I honestly was like ready to cancel We'll Walk because I ain't got no money. And I didn't want to go to I've never been a fan of window shopping. I don't know who these people are who are torturing themselves like that, but I don't get the whole window shopping business, okay? Because I feel like the store owners get upset when you press your nose to the glass and
They gotta go and clean the glass.
Yeah, so I was like, well, if I can't buy anything, I'm not gonna go. And literally like Sunday night, because we didn't start going to any stores until Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And so Sunday night, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to We'll Walk. And then just as I was going to sleep, I was like, but wait. And I had this idea that what if I went to each store and bought one ball of yarn? I know, right? I'm talking crazy. But I bought one ball of yarn at each store, and then I combined them all into a single project to like commemorate my We'll Walk experience. So I'm going to be making a We'll Walk 2022 me-made souvenir tee. Ooh, that's its full name.
Ooh, oh my.
But she answers to We'll Walk Tea.
Okay.
So far we've been to 3 stores, and I've stuck to my guns. It's been really hard. The last store we went to had Kobasi for $5. I was just like, I need it, but I was good. So first we went to Knit One Stitch 2, which is in Pennington. Cute little store on a cute little street. It was very quiet. They have like a little municipal lot behind them. So if you've been to Wool Bearer, same kind of situation, the lot behind the store, and then you just come around and pop in. So parking was very easy. Love that. And I got this. This is Barocco Meraki, and it is a cotton, 71% cotton, 21% hemp, and it's a DK weight. And this is my first ball for my top that I'm making. So this is the one that decided what weight all of the other yarns would be.
Mm-hmm.
I also decided I didn't want to buy any wool. I wanted to buy something that was a lighter weight for spring, summer. And I didn't want to buy any hand dyed because I wanted to really push myself to buy stuff that I didn't have or hadn't used before. So this was my starter ball. And it's just this beautiful pink, but it's got little flecks of gray in it.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's got this like kind of crimped texture to it. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, look at that. And I love that. And then our second store. Oh, and I won a ball of yarn. We got the door prize, Lisa and I. I think we were their first customers that day.
Mm-hmm.
So we got it's U.S. organic cotton in a sport weight, and it's called Appalachian. That's the yarn. And I have this off-white color. Lisa actually won 2 of these. She won one at 2 different stores.
I was lucky.
but it feels nice. It doesn't feel like that Lilly cookies and cream thing or whatever.
No.
This feels lovely. This might work its way into the top also, but I might swap with you. I think I want that light blue.
Oh, well, let me know because I started swatching it.
I know I saw. So that was our first store. And with the exception of Alma Park, we went to stores that we hadn't been to before. So it's been really fun seeing all the different shops and meeting the owners. And then Tuesday, we went to Alma Park. And if you haven't been to Alma Park, it's on an actual like working alpaca farm.
Yeah.
So when we pulled up, the little alpaca were like just doing their thing. They're very calm creatures. They were just chilling.
Peaceful.
And they're so cute. I can't stand how cute they are. Oh my God. So I got some Barocco Vivo. Now this is a 100% cotton and it is a gradient yarn. And so you can see a theme happening. So I decided to just go ahead and lean into this whole pink thing and make it a pink top. And then we went to Slip Stitch Avenue on Wednesday. And that is that the one in Jobestown?
No, that is in Borden.
Bordentown, that's right. But it's like right in like downtown Bordentown. So it's like on their main street and there's little shops and restaurants. There's a candy shop. It's called the Candy Jar. And we stopped there. We just bought a pound of chocolate.
No, all kinds of different chocolates. But who did not get a chocolate covered marshmallow?
I had one. I had one chocolate covered marshmallow.
I had no chocolate covered marshmallow.
So when we were in the store, I was like, Lisa, don't you want to get half a pound of chocolate? She's like, no. So we ended up with a pound of chocolate, but it was very good chocolate. So at Slip Stitch Avenue, I got Zooey from Juniper Moon Farm, and this is a cotton linen. It's a 60/40 cotton linen. I love the texture it's giving. And this is a yarn. It's a sport weight. This is a yarn that I wanted to get my hands on for a minute. So I'm very, very excited about it. And then we got a little stitch marker. We were gifted the stitch marker by Vera because Vera watches our podcast. So if you watch this one, Vera, hello.
Hi.
Thank you for the stitch marker. So I have a crochet one and Lisa has a knit one. But I have spent less than $40 so far on my wool walk. So we took today off. Today's Thursday because we pretty much hit up the closest stores, and I didn't want to do like a long drive more than one day. So tomorrow the plan is to go out to Frame and Fiber and hit some of the other stores that are over there. So this will be the only day that we go to multiple stores, and that'll be our only like big drive. It should be like a little over an hour. And I'm very much looking forward to it.
And Mom's coming along with us now.
So the wool walk has been going on. So why don't you show them what you got from the wool walk?
Okay, so when Crystal announced her plan, I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that too. I did. I jumped right on board the train.
So we came home from the first store and Lisa's telling Mom, oh, Cryss is going to get one ball of yarn at each store and make a top. And she's like, and then I'm going to steal that. And I'm going to do the same thing. And I was just like, oh.
But I'm not making a top.
No.
I decided I haven't made socks for myself in a very long time. Actually, I haven't made socks for myself or for my niece. So I might be switching back and forth. But I decided I was going to get a ball of sock yarn that I don't already have and make a set of commemorative wool walk socks. So maybe next wool walk, I'll be walking around in my socks.
She'll have shoes
well,
on,
put
though.
shoes on.
Yeah, I'll also be wearing shoes, but I'll be wearing
But if someone just
hand
rolls
socks.
up into your shop in socks, well,
might be me. So at the first shop we went to, which was
Knit One Stitch 2.
Oh yes, Knit One Stitch 2. I got alpaca socks from Lang. Now this is a really neutral color, and I really wanted a light neutral because I want to do a pair of socks that has a lot of texture, and I wanted the texture to really show up. But can I tell you something about this alpaca sock? It feels like heaven in a sock ball. It's smooth and silky, and I have not actually made predominantly alpaca socks yet, so I can't wait to see what they wear like. It's 70% alpaca, 30% polyamide nylon, and it's delicious. Then we went to Alma Park, and I had to get a skein of Alma Park's hand dye. Now, this particular color is called Wild Horses. Let me see if I can get it up close to you. Now, I walked around looking at her hand dyed, and I chose one after another after another.
She did.
And I had one in my hand when I saw this, and it like called to me like the siren, and I had to have it. Now, this is part of her color of the month. And what she does each month is that she will put out the color. You can pre-order it, and she will send it to you when it is dyed. And it's gorgeous. This is the premium sock base. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards. Loving it. So I actually had another skein in hand when we went to Slip Stitch Avenue. I did because I was really primarily looking at the sock yarns, and I forget what it was now, but I liked it. It was okay, but I really was not enthusiastic about it.
And I had a dilemma because I was
so
sick
mad about that.
There was a computer glitch, so checking out was taking a minute. So I went to sit in, because Slip Stitch Avenue is 2 rooms, so there's a front room and a back room. So I just went to have a seat in the back room, and I happened to be sitting right in front of the Kobasi, and I was like, oh, she had so many colors, and it's a beautiful yarn. If you don't know, Kobasi is a cotton bamboo silk sock yarn, so it's cotton bamboo silk and nylon. It is one of the yarns that is approved for knitted knockers.
Yeah.
And I have not had a chance to make anything with it yet, but I really, really want to. So I'm looking at it, and it turns out that it's like $5 a skein, and it's 220 yards. And I was just like, I have this idea that I'm going to only buy. I'm doing a minimalist yarn haul, I'm calling it. I'm sorry, I have like yarn fibers make tickling my nose.
Yeah.
Okay. That I'm only going to buy 1 ball of yarn at each store, and I'm going to stick to that. But when I was just sitting there directly in front of the Kobasi, I swear all of the yarn, all of the little skeins were in the little cubby going, me, pick me, right here. And I was like really excited. And so Lisa comes in the back, and she's like, I'm like, Lee, what do? I really, really want this yarn. And she goes, oh, I could get some Kobasi. I was like, wait a minute.
I got completely like flipped around.
You're having me here with
Because
my dilemma.
I am not a fan of making socks out of cotton, although there are things that they market as cotton sock yarns. Cotton does not have the elasticity you need for socks in general, and it's not as breathable as wool is. So it's not going to make a great sock unless you make your sock with Kobasi. I have made Kobasi socks before. They bounce, they stretch, and they are super comfortable. I have one customer, she wanted to just only make her summer socks out of Kobasi. So
So she bought my Kobasi.
I did. Now, technically, I said I was only going to buy 1 skein, but because it was $5 a skein, and these are 50-gram skeins, so to make a pair of socks, you need 2 anyway. But I decided I was going to do the body of the sock in this beautiful kind of port color, and I will do my toes, heels, and cuffs in this nice contrasty pink. So
in my Kobasi.
In my Kobasi.
So, bottom line, she got Kobasi.
I did. I was like, and I could not focus on anything.
No, I was like, but look, and I know what I would make out of it. And do you think it's worth it, breaking the oath? And she was just like, should I do these 2 colors or should I do these 2 colors? And I was like,
there are so many colors to choose from.
Okay, never mind.
So many colors to choose from.
Honestly, I was just so exasperated. I just forgot about getting it all together.
But isn't that fun? Look at that. I mean, I'm already thinking it kind of reminds me of those heart candies. So I might do maybe a Valentine's Day themed sock out of it. Really fun.
Out of my Kobasi. Slip Stitch Avenue has some really good sales. My the yarn that I got there was 40% off.
Yeah,
so
the Kobasi was 40% off.
She had all of her yarn discounted, and the discounts range from 10% to 50%. So Slip Stitch Avenue was the spot for the deals. Let me tell you, that was where to go to get some really good prices on some nice yarn.
If you are looking for non-wool yarns,
that was the other thing. She had a ton of cotton.
And
She
cotton
had-
and linen blends.
She had 100% cotton. She had blends. She had hand painted cotton. She had cotton at different weights. She had cotton gradient cakes. She had cotton sock yarn.
Ooh,
So
and remember the Lino gradient? Was it a striper or a gradient? The one
I
that
don't
was
know.
all linen,
I don't remember.
but
But
beautiful stuff.
if you want a wool alternative, either because you just want something lighter weight or because you have a wool sensitivity, Simplicity Avenue's got you covered. That is the place to go.
Mhm.
She had so many non-wool options.
Oh, we're not sponsored by any of the shows.
No, but we'd like to be. So
If you want to work with us,
call a sister.
we're here. But each shop has its own character. So far, every shop we went to was really friendly and fun. Like you said, if you're looking for non-wools, particularly cotton and cotton blends, definitely visit Simplicity Avenue. If you want alpaca, go to
Go to Alma Park.
Park.
Alpaca Farm. And she does custom spinning. While we were there, someone was ordering their own spun yarn. I was just like, that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
And you can also get yarn, like you can pick the alpaca it comes from, like by name.
Yes.
She has like pictures on the wall. I think that I'm definitely
Yeah.
doing that. I'm gonna go get some of that. I'm gonna pick a cute little alpaca
Mhm.
and get some of the
And
is it rude to wear what you made in front of the alpaca? Do you think they want to see it?
No, because it didn't hurt him to give up the
yeah,
wool.
I don't think they did.
So I don't think they would mind.
Okay, but
But that's for the
definitely-
natural colored alpaca.
Yeah.
And she's also a dyer, and she comes up with some beautiful color combinations.
yeah, she had this green yarn that's still haunting me.
It's haunting my dreams.
It is. Y'all don't know. Like it takes a lot for me to be as disciplined as I've been this week. But I'm having some regrets. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not, because I felt like the
But-
plan gave me focus. It really did. Otherwise, I'd be all over the place looking at. I'm still all over the place looking at everything. But when I'm
a
trying to make a
purpose now,
decision,
yeah.
it just narrowed things down for me.
So I'm taking my little bag of yarns with me to each store now so that I can put them all together and see how they look. And I think my top is gonna be really cute. I have an idea. I already kind of have an idea how I want to make it. We're gonna see. But okay, I have a Wool Walk 2022 me made souvenir tee.
And I will have souvenir socks.
So that's what I've been doing with yarn this week. Buying it.
I guess when I go tomorrow, I'll have to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, word.
Absolutely. Because it's hard to pick yarn with somebody else. It's like,
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't know.
Although I think she would have liked the chunky Malabrigo at Alma Park
Maybe.
or like a chunky cowl.
Maybe.
That's been a Wool Walk so far. I've been writing about it on my blog.
Oh, absolutely. Let me put up the
You don't have to
banner. I'm going to put the
up.
banner
No
up
one needs to see
because
the
people
banner.
ask.
Okay.
So this is how you
So-
find Crystal's blog. It's crochetcryss.com.
So each day I've just been posting about my experience. And I've also been, because you know what? People are always complaining about knitting and crocheting being expensive. And I really wanted to show people that it's possible to actually enjoy the yarn experience without breaking the bank. So each day I've been showing my one ball of yarn that I've been buying, and I've been keeping a running total of how much I've spent all week so that we can see what it looks like to do a minimalist yarn haul. That's what I'm calling it, which is a little tongue in cheek because I don't get minimalism at all. But ultimately that's what it's coming down to, because I'm really just focusing on buying less.
Yeah.
I want more though.
Oh,
Understand
yes,
that in my heart.
yes.
I am not a minimalist.
I get it. Because I saw some things that kind of turned my head a little bit too, but I'm like, you know what? I have a plan, and it's going to be really beautiful and fun. And that's the other thing. We're still having the fun.
Yes.
We're still having the fun. Can I tell you? I have met several. I know a couple of the yarn store owners, and I've met many of them, like just incidentally. And I have realized the Wool Walk is so much more fun as a customer. Oh my gosh.
And she keeps telling them all that. And I'm like, you should maybe stop saying that.
But you know what? I just got it. I was like, oh wow, this is really fun.
She said that at Alma Park, and the woman who was ringing us up said, if there weren't customers in here right now. Like she clearly had some feelings about that.
And nowhere that I guess because we're doing it midweek. That was part of our COVID plan. We're doing it midweek, so nowhere that we have gone has been crowded in any way, shape, or form.
And we try to get there close to when they open also. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the time people were like just coming in as we were leaving. So
I think the only place where we were with 9 other people, and I know for a fact because Simplicity Avenue does this thing where they give you
a catalog of the sale, each yarn, what discount it has.
I thought that was very helpful.
It was.
But it's also her way of knowing exactly how many customers are in the shop.
Because she only needs 10 of those.
Yeah. So she only has 10 people.
That was very clever.
Yeah, I thought that was a great method.
And everybody's doing raffles.
Yes.
So I'm hoping by the end of all this, I'll have won some more stuff.
I think we're going to be pretty lucky because we've already won things just like walking in. So, and I'm usually not the person who wins things. So I was excited.
So I'm hoping. I have hope.
But it just goes to show you don't need to drop $1 million on this to really have all the fun. There's a couple of online events. Unfortunately, I wanted to go to the pub quiz last night, but I missed the pub quiz last night.
Who's having a pub quiz? Is it Balzac? It sounds like a Balzac kind of thing.
No, it was one of the other ones. I don't remember exactly who was running it, but it sounded like it was going to be really fun, and she was going to do prizes also as part of the pub quiz. I think there's one more online event. It's the sock yarn extravaganza, so I'm going to try to make sure and catch that.
But I know people really feel pressured sometimes to spend because right now we're all so visible, right? Mm-hmm. So we're all always looking at each other now. And I don't feel pressure to spend, but there's just more stuff that I want. Like it's just that it's me doing it to me. It's not like coming from Instagram or anything. They're literally like yarns that I'm still thinking about that I walked away from.
Oh, I know.
But it can be, if I can do it, let me tell you, anybody can, because like shopping is my religion. I literally shouldn't have to pay taxes on it because it is the church say, ding, ding. Principle of faith. Okay, and even I'm doing better this year. Doing really well this year.
Yeah, but like I said, we're still having all the fun. We're going to all the places. We're getting to experience the shops, which we really couldn't do before because we'd have to be in our own shop.
Although I feel like if we went to more stores, I could pick up more yarn because I can get one ball at each store. So, like, if we hit all 20,
that would kind of defeat your purpose.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's how I might work that next year. We'll see.
But I think next year I'm going to make a plan too because, like I said, I feel like having the plan freed me up and focused me.
Yeah.
So it should be fun because tomorrow we'll be going to stores along the coastline. I haven't been out like the Point Pleasant or Ocean, New Jersey at all. So it would be nice to just see that area. I'm looking forward to tomorrow because my little walk is not done yet.
No, it's not. No, it's not. So I do have some progress on my Anyday vest.
Oh, sorry.
I closed it up and picked up the shoulders.
Look at that.
The shoulder construction
she tried it on last night. It's cute on.
It really is.
I love it on. I will, when I actually finish it, I will take some pictures in it because I have an outflow plan. So here's my plan, right? My plan is to grind out the armholes tonight, hide my ends inside, and wear it tomorrow. That's the plan.
Yeah, I've also been wearing my maids all week long. So each day so far, I've worn something else that I've made. I don't know what I'm going to wear tomorrow yet, but that's been part of the fun for me as well. Mm-hmm. Wearing something we made all week long.
So let me tell you about this. You know how you mixed up your knitting your hooks?
Mhm.
Well, you know what? I was supposed to do the bottom part with a smaller needle. Totally. I don't know why I always mess up on that. I think by the time I get over the drama of finding a needle, I use whatever I have in my hand.
You
at
had
the
quite a
moment.
bit of drama.
Yes,
with this one.
So I was like, I'm casting this thing on right now. So I actually did my bottom ribbing with the 6 millimeter needle, which is fine. It's not a
The
big
6
deal.
or 6.5?
6.5, pardon me. Not a big deal at all. I'm totally cool with it. I love the fit of it.
It does fit nicely.
It came out. You know what? You have to swatch. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna just lay it out there on the table. You gotta swatch.
Them's fighting words.
They are fighting words, but I'm gonna have to like be up on that hill tussling because you have to swatch. That's the only way you can kind of figure out what size this thing is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would hate to do all this knitting and then it doesn't fit.
Oh yeah.
So I did switch.
Or your shorts don't come past your knees.
Or your shorts don't come past your knees. Yeah.
We'll get there.
There's a tail. I am picking up the edges with a 5.5 millimeter needle. Now, it's not the needles called for in the pattern because I am a loose knitter. So because the pattern went down an entire needle, went down to the next full needle size, I just went down to the next full needle size for my edges. Now, I did the tubular cast on for the ribbing down here. So they're very, very nice. I really liked it. And I was going to do the tubular bind off out up here, but whoa, mine was coming out ugly because I hadn't done it before. And I tried and tried and tried. And I was like, you know what? Let's not do that. So I just did a regular bind off up here. But I think it looks just fine because what I did was I switched down to a 4.5 millimeter needle for the ribbing here. Is that what I did?
You said 5.5.
Right, a 5.5 millimeter needle for the ribbing here. And then for the last row, the bind off row, I switched to a 4.5 millimeter needle. So it just made a smaller, neater stitch along the edge.
Yeah.
So although it doesn't perfectly match my tubular cast on, I don't have that row of chains that you usually have. Well, it's not as visible as it normally would be had I done it in the same size. So that's a little trick you can do. You can neaten up your very last row just by going down another needle size on the bind off row. Because I think it looks super neat. And I am really, really enjoying that. So all that's left to go on here is picking up these Alma. And you know what? Picking up these stitches, tiny bit of a pain. It takes a minute because what she asks you to do is pick up every stitch. Now, along here, I had these slip stitches because you slip the beginning stitch of each row. And, oh, thank you. It's the Anyday vest by Lilly Kate France. It actually covers 2 rows. So I would not, if I just picked up that large hole, I would be picking up every other stitch. And that's not what you want us to do.
Knitting sounds complicated.
So I actually had to find the tiny hole that is the next stitch and make sure and get in every single stitch. Now, normally that would make your neck hole flare out a bit, but because I went down a needle size, it actually pulled in very nicely because I was like, oh, this neck hole is kind of big. But pulled it in just right. I'm very happy with that. And then switching down another needle size, pulled it in a teeny tiny bit more. And I'm loving how that's looking. So I'm going to do the same procedure on the sleeve folds. I'm going to go down yet another needle size. And then in my bind off row, I will be binding off down yet another needle size. There will be probably no ends woven in. So if you see me wool walking, know that, no, I didn't weave in those ends.
You can do it in the car. I have been known to weave some ends in the car.
Sure has been. But I think that's all there is. Oh, here's the back. I love the little slip stitch detail. that kind of outlines the whole shirt. And Crystal says that from now on, I am restricted to doing cropped, sleeveless sweaters
In a bulky way.
In a
I told
bulky
her
way.
she can do short sleeves, but they have to be above the elbow, no bracelet length, no 7/8 or 3/4. Just sleeves can be above the elbow. Because she got this done so fast, y'all. I'm just like, every time I see it, it's like it's
There's
close
more.
to the completion. I'm just like, we're gonna try to get her working monogamously so things get finished. But her chaos brain does not like the sound
It
of
doesn't.
that.
It doesn't. And you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing that right now. So I have something else I can feel like.
We won't talk about it.
Oh, I'm gonna tell them about the tiny woo pie.
I've been sewing. So I'm working on these shorts. I'm using a thrifted skirt that I made, turning them into some shorts, and I'm in love with this fabric. But it has some issues with this pattern. It's a Simplicity pattern. It's one of the patterns that I got from the $1 a pattern Simplicity sale. Thank goodness these patterns were only $1 because full price, these bad boys are like $19, $20. If I had spent that much money on this pattern, I'd have some stern words for Simplicity. Because let me tell y'all what happens. So first of all, let me show y'all the shorts. I have a post about this too.
On the blog.
If you don't stop. Okay. So these are my shorts. And I would like to show y'all pockets. Your girl done did some pockets for the first time ever. What? So the skirt, the original skirt had a lining. So I made the pockets out of the lining fabric. And these are my shorts. And so the skirt had that gold at the bottom edge. So I positioned, the pattern pieces so I could keep that. Oh, I still love it. I still love it. It's so cute. But let me tell y'all a story. So this was the front, because the front, you can see these little stitches here that were ripped out because it had pleats. The front of the shorts had pleats in it. So I'm just following the pattern and going, step by step. And the first step was to put the pleats in the front waistband. There were 4, 2 on each side. And so I would do my pleats. I did them wrong the first time, figured it out, did them right the second time. And then I just keep going on with all the steps of the shorts. Yeah. And so I get them to this point where I can try them on. And I step into them and I pull them up. I don't know why y'all think this is funny.
It's
funny. They stopped at my knees. And they wasn't going up no further. Like it just wasn't going to happen. It wasn't like, oh, I could shimmy. No. They just stopped at my knees. Like that's where they were supposed to be. And if you read my blog post, what I say in the blog post is that I took that deep breath you take right before you start walling.
I was there.
And then I managed to stop myself because I was like, I can take out the pleats.
Okay.
Each pleat took up like an inch of fabric. You know how, like, I don't know if y'all ever seen the movie Backdraft. Like someone was an arsonist was setting fire. So right before the fire starts, there'd be this suction of air. And then like a fireball. So I was like,
and you see the smoke pull in under the door. Yeah.
So I managed to pull back the fireball and I took out my pleats. And taking out the pleats gave me 4 extra inches in the waistband and the shorts fit. So I can pull them up now because I took out the pleats. Now the pleats were like a decorative feature. I wanted that decorative feature, but that didn't work. So at least I have shorts that, cover my behind the way shorts are supposed to.
Well, yes.
But I feel like there's an issue with the pattern. Here was my first clue. I'm looking at the back of the pattern envelope and trying to figure out which size line I should cut on, right? And the only number they give you for sizing these shorts is the finished dimensions of the hip of the short. So it's not like your hip measurement. It's the finished garment measurement at the hip. No waist, no side length, no inseam, no crotch depth, just the hip measurement. So I picked the one that's supposed to work for me, because what I told myself was, well, maybe, you know, your hip and waist measurement will be the same for the finished shorts, and then you put in your elastic. But you still need to know what dimensions the finished waist should have been, because with my pleats, like I said, it didn't fit. It fit when I took those pleats out. I don't know what my waist measurement should have been. So I can't even figure out, like, was this my mistake or is it something with the pattern?
I don't think it was your mistake.
So my mom said, well, let's look at the pattern pieces. And what she had me do was pleat the front of the pattern itself. And then we laid the front and the back pieces together. The pattern piece for the front of the shorts, pattern piece for the back of the shorts. And that front piece with those pleats in it is a full like 2 inches shorter than the back at the waistband.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the waistband front and back are not the same width. And I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be the same width, because then that's how you get your side seam right along the side.
Yes.
If your front is shorter, you know, the seams are going to move up. And if the back is shorter, your seams are going to move back.
Yeah.
So something's wrong with the pattern if the waistband pieces are just not the same width.
That's the one, guys.
Yeah.
Just watch out for it. Oh, and P.S. they changed the number.
So I know I'm learning about sewing, and there's still a lot I don't know. So I'm sure I did something wrong somewhere, but I'm also sure there's just something wrong with this pattern. And like I said, the first clue was it just didn't give me enough numbers to pick the size. So what I realized I need to do is start measuring the pattern pieces before I cut them out, so I can see definitively which version I should be cutting. Because but here's the other thing. So if I had gone any bigger, though, these shorts would have been huge, because they fit me very nicely in the hips.
Yeah.
So I could have cut a bigger size and had, you know, a waistband that met my waist, but then these shorts would have been like balloons on me. They'd been like balloon pants on me.
Yeah. It's a poor design.
Something's wrong with this pattern.
Yeah. It's a poor design.
But we're here now. We're moving on. I'm still just going to go ahead and try to finish them and put a waistband on them, just because I want the practice. I want the experience. So now I don't have darts, but I've made darts.
Yeah.
I've done darts. So now I've done a bust dart and a waistband dart.
And you've done pockets.
A waist pleats. And I've done pockets.
Yeah.
So, you know, everything I make is a learning opportunity for me. And I have a really cute top that goes with these shorts.
Sure does.
So it's a gold, it's a yellow top, but it's a yellow that's giving you some gold vibes. And then it has red embroidered flowers on it. So it's almost like a relief image of the shorts with the red and the gold flowers.
Yeah.
The top is gold with the red flowers. And it looks like they were made for each other. So I'm really hoping that I can get these shorts to like some kind of wearable state, or at the very least, a state where I can take a picture in it. But yeah, because that's the plan. Because I think this fabric is gorgeous. Look, it's shiny. Oh my God, it's shiny. So that's what happened with my shorts, y'all. In other news, though, I made something for my first ever PDF pattern, and that went great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So that first outfit that I made that I posted on the blog is a pink top and pink skirt. I had some issues with the skirt. And so I found another pencil skirt pattern. It's called the Elemental Skirt from Sew House 7.
Right.
And I just finished it today. So it just needed a waistband. So I put my waistband in. But what I wanted to show you all was this. See, this is the old one. I had to cut some pieces out of it to make the new one. But what I wanted to show you all is that the new skirt at the bottom is about 3 inches shorter.
Oh, wow.
And that was the problem. The old skirt was just too wide at the bottom, and I just had too much fabric, and it didn't look really good. So this is the difference in width between the old skirt and the new one. So the new one, it fits so much better. And I also like that it does. So this one had like, you know, a hard waistband that you had to weave the elastic through. This did the waistband in a completely different way. So I have like this cute, smooth waistband that I really, really like. So I just like this pattern much better. And glad that I feel like I'm learning how to evaluate patterns so that I can decide what my preferences are and decide what I'm going to look for when I'm buying patterns. So I made this skirt twice now. Well, I made a pencil skirt twice now. So I feel like the second time it did go a little bit better.
It did go better, yeah.
And it was a lot less stressful. And I think this pattern kind of worked the way I expected a skirt pattern to work, which was just stitch up the sides, do the hem.
It was very well written.
Yeah, the instructions were very, very clear. My mom was very impressed with the pattern and with the instructions.
So, shout out to Sew House 7.
So, again, if y'all want a sponsorship deal, we could work something out. Very amenable. But yeah, so this is the new skirt. It's still clipped to the old skirt, but I still have the side ruching, and also my strings that I made for my ruching before. They were the older skirt is shorter, so the strings were just too long. So now I have more skirt to take up my strings. So I have less string hanging out now.
Yeah.
So now I have made the top, the old pink skirt, the 2 camisoles, and the new pink skirt, and I'm almost finished with my shorts. So I'm on my 6th sewing project now. I'm like, oh my God, I'm sewing and the machine has not exploded.
Thank goodness. Okay.
That was my worst case scenario with sewing. Like, why you shouldn't sew? Because your machine could explode. That has not happened. So I'm encouraged. I will probably keep sewing.
All right.
So that's been what I've been working on.
In other news, I just signed up to teach at Vogue Knitting in August. I will also be teaching at Vogue Knitting in May. And on May 14th, I'm going to be teaching how to work a pattern. And it's just like it sounds. It's about how to work with your pattern to set yourself up for success from the get-go, or know ahead of time, this pattern's a clunker, let me ditch it. And in August, I'm adding a new class.
So the May is virtual. She's teaching that online.
Yes, I'm teaching that online. August is live. So I will be in New York at Vogue Knitting, once again, live. And I will be teaching.
I am not setting any shopping limits for Vogue Knitting Live, just so we're clear. I ain't putting myself through this again.
Well, we're doing a minimal marketplace, so it's not going to be like the, full-on marketplace. It's mostly classes with boutique shopping. What am I doing there in August? I am doing, bind off loosely like a pro. I personally find one of the most frustrating instructions you get in a pattern. It's usually right at the end. Bind off loosely.
After bananas.
Okay. Good luck with that, Good luck with that, kiddo. So we'll be looking at 3 different ways to bind off loosely so that you can get the effect in your bind off that you want. Whether it needs to stretch, whether it needs to hold its shape, or if you want it to match what else is going on. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm excited and a little trepidatious.
So I went to Joanne, right, to get the elastic for this waistband because I needed 1.5 inch elastic. Mm-hmm. And I do pride myself on being able to go to the store and just pick up the one thing I went there for, but that's not what happened this time.
Yeah.
Although, again, I had a little devil on my shoulder saying, "Oh, you should totally get that. You should totally get that."
I'm a sweetheart.
So there were these little bundles right by the checkout, impulse buys, but it's just this fleecy fabric. I think that's the wrong side. It's 100% polyester, but I thought the patterns were really cute. Mm-hmm. And it is 26 inches by 54 inches. That's plenty for me to get like a skirt. I bought 2 of these. They were like $6 each, I think.
Yeah.
But again, like ultimately I want to be working with natural fibers, but while I'm still learning, I don't want to mess up any really valuable fabric.
This is like a $12 skirt, you know?
So
Yeah.
I'm going to be making something out of this. It won't be something I can wear spring, summer because this is kind of got some weight to it. But this was cute. You know what really got me? The little bit of pink in there.
Yeah.
I think that's so cute. So they had a couple of these by the checkout, and I picked up 2.
So that is a project in planning.
Yes.
It's a pip.
This is a pip. It's a project. We're trying to make pip happen.
Yeah.
Pip is project in planning. And speaking of project planning, I just wrote about on my blog.
CrochetCryss.com.
That I think I'm going to try to learn. I'm going to learn. Going to learn pattern drafting. Why are we laughing?
My reaction to what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Mom had some pattern drafting trauma.
She panicked. She literally like put out her hand and was like, wait. I was like, she said, slow down. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm cutting things out of paper. What are we slowing down with? So she had a little panic, but I didn't pay her no mind. So when I was at Joann, I bought this book called Pattern Drafting Primer. Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah, this from Joann.
Oh, yeah, it's called the Pattern Making Primer. And you know, they're doing that thing where the books are 20% off, so you can't use that 40 off coupon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see you, Joanne. But still open
But
to
if you
working
want
with
to
you.
sponsor us,
Still open to working with you.
totally.
But it is by Joe Barnfield and Andrew Richards. And I've just read the first chapter so far. And 1, I learned stuff just from that first chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, I was overwhelmed by how much I don't know.
So you know what? Isn't it easier sometimes where you don't know what you don't know?
I'll be telling y'all ignorance is bliss, and y'all don't like to hear it. But
what my reaction was about, because I know what pattern making entails, and I was like, "Ooh,
ignorance is truly bliss." But you know what? It was especially after my experience with the pattern for the shorts. You know, I want to be able to head that off at the pass. I want to be able to make sure that my pattern has the right measurements, has the right dimensions, so that when I put all this time and effort into sewing something, I can pull it up past my knees. I feel like that's the floor. Like that's the bare minimum you want from like shorts or pants or a skirt.
You had a bad experience. Right. I could totally get that.
Because I had gone quite a ways on these shorts when I realized that I could not pull them up.
Yeah.
So I really just want to know enough to either, you know, draft my own patterns or customize store-bought patterns, and just know, I want to know what I'm looking at when I look at a pattern piece, when I look at the actual tissue paper pieces, so that I can evaluate it, I can adjust it, and make sure I'm going to make a garment that fits me. So this is just a start. I don't expect to learn everything about pattern making from one book, but what I really need now, I need to learn the terminology. I need to just learn some of the very fundamentals.
Yeah.
And so this will just give me an overview and hopefully, you know, tell me where to go next to learn more. So that is a long-term pick for me, a long-term project in planning. I'm going to be learning pattern drafting. We're going to be learning pattern drafting.
I did pattern drafting, and I didn't
Mom went to FIT, if you don't know. And Mom has a degree from FIT, and she has some very good memories from there, and she has some not
some traumatic ones.
Yes. Yeah. And for her, pattern drafting apparently was in the latter category. And you know what? I think it's good that we're facing this. We're going to get you past
get you over that
those bad memories.
It was just like the first pattern I had to make that just kind of stopped me. I was like, I don't know how to do this.
But then you went on to do it.
Yeah, my teacher came over and she was like, what's wrong?
Apparently she was crying in class.
I was just sitting there like, and she was like, what's the matter? I'm like, I don't know how to do this. And she looked at me, she goes, can you make a sleeve? I was like, yeah. She's like, make a sleeve. So once I made the sleeve, it kind of broke the spell.
Get you going a little bit.
So, I personally, though, I don't know enough to be terrified of pattern drafting, so I'm actually looking forward to it right now. We'll see how it goes.
Do you have any projects in planning, Mom?
I'm still working on my Tunisian little T-shirt,
Mhm.
and it's almost done, and I'm loving it. I'm learning so much from that project. So
And that's what is that Rachel Henry?
Rachel Henry here, and it's
Yeah.
the Celeste
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Mama's making the Celeste tee from Rachel Henry. It's coming out so cute. I gotta tell you, it really is. I am also planning a project. My niece asked, our niece asked if she could have a sweater vest. I don't know why, but she's like
She's all about sweater vests
all
right
about
now.
sweater vests right now. So while she was here, we looked on Ravelry and found the style of vest she liked. I haven't been able to find the right yarn for that vest, so I'm gonna change the yarn and just make the vest in a smaller yarn. And it's made out of written for a super bulky, and she's such a little person. I think that'll be too
Yeah.
bulky for her anyway. So I'm gonna use some ultra wool, and she wants it to be navy blue because she's like, I want to be able to wear it to school. So it needs to be
That's her
navy
school has
blue.
It has to
uniforms.
match her
Yeah.
uniform. Yeah.
And I have the best buttons. I bought these buttons on sale. Probably at Joann's.
Joanne, they used to have
years
some
ago.
really nice buttons on sale.
They're
Yeah.
wooden buttons with this beautiful carving in them. So they won't, she's not really a snazzy, pizzazzy, blingy kind of girl, but she does appreciate
That's me.
a beautiful hand carved looking thing. So I think she will like that. And I will be reinforcing the button bands with a fun ribbon. So she's going to have like a little bit of fun on the inside.
She had a lot of trouble picking the ribbon. She got a little overwhelmed by the choices.
Yeah.
There were
so
polka dots,
many.
there were stars, there were all kinds of things.
And then, you're picking for somebody else. So I'm trying to go with her tastes rather than mine. I would have picked something blingy for myself. But, she's not blingy at all. And Rachel, if you're watching this part, look away. Look away. Does anybody have anything else?
No.
I think we covered it all. Well, guys, if you had a wool walk experience, let us know. I'd love to hear how you did on your wool walk. And I just watched A Wheel of Time. If you watch A Wheel of Time, tell me what you thought of the ending. That last episode left me away. I can't wait to see the next season, though. So, any of you Wheel of Time fans, I haven't read the book, so I'm a series only person. Love the series, but that last episode, I have questions.
I just watched Wrath of Man with Jason Statham. It's a terrible movie, but it's Jason Statham. He can do no wrong in my eyes. I don't care if he's punching people or sharks. He is Jason Statham, and I will show up for him always. So, yeah, that's on Amazon Prime.
Just started reading the first book in A Wheel of Time.
Mm-hmm.
It's going slowly, but because I saw the
series, you got interested in it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's going to pick up. It's going to pick up.
We are of divided opinion on the books. I haven't read the books at all. Crystal started them.
I read the first one. I had the whole series because I'd been collecting them from used bookstores. And I finally had the whole series, and I read the first one. You should know they're chunky books, like 500. They're like bigger, biggest. All right, there's no small books in the series. And I read that first one, and it was a slog, and I was mad at the end. So I just got rid of the whole thing because I was like, I'm not going through this 13 more times because it's 14 books in the series.
Oh Lord! Okay.
Like I'm not trying to be funny, but the man writing them died. He died while writing them. It just took that long. Someone else had to finish the series, so I can't do that to myself. So I didn't even watch the show because I was like, if the show's gonna be like the books, no. But apparently the show was better.
The pacing was really
pacing
good.
was good. Yeah,
the pacing was really good. But you're also reading A Discovery of Witches.
Yeah, I finished that. I went through like really quickly.
Loved it. And there's a series also on Showtime? Sundance. Watch the series. It was really fun. And it was actually very faithful to the book. Loved it.
Except for the
yoga. And once you read the book, you'll know what I mean by the yoga. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Mom, for coming on and being our special guest star today.
Oh, who was it that said? Oh, say hi to Steve.
Hi, Steve.
You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.